Japan has a huge metal scene. You might have heard of some Japanese bands like Baby Metal, but there are way more Japanese bands that you need to check out. And I've got a list, so let's go through them. So this list is just bands that I found in like the last year and a half or so. The bands that I think are pretty sick. So hopefully you'll check them out and think, damn, I need this in my life. Smash add to playlist now. Knosis. I found this band through Nick Nocturnal. You might have seen a few of his videos before where he's basically done collabs with the singer of Knosis. His name is Ryo Kinoshita. He used to be in a band called Crystal Lake, but now he's got his own thing called Knosis. And it's just insanely good. Like, unbelievably good. He has like these insanely brutal screams, and his singing voice is just magnifique. It kind of gives me like this Architects, Bad Omens kind of vibe. You know, you've got like the fucking insane, just chunky, brutal riffies, but then there's all this kind of like electronic stuff going on. It's so good. I kind of like how, in my opinion, it incorporates loads of other bands as well. I personally think there's things like Every Time I Die kind of vibes in there. You've got things like, it's got like a Deftonesy kind of vibe as well. Bring Me, Knocked Loose. It's got all those kind of things in there, and it's so good, especially for someone that loves and listens to modern metal. Like, it's just the perfect band, and the guitar tones are so like aggressive that it just makes you want to just fight someone. You just like, you'll be sitting in a coffee shop listening to Knosis and you'll just get up and just start swanging. Hanabie. They have to be one of my favorite bands at the moment. It's so like in your face and like chaotic. You just don't know what's going on half the time, and I just absolutely love that. It's just like a punch to your ears consistently. They take that kind of like cute kawaii vibe, but then they also like say, nah, fuck you, we're gonna fight you, just beat the shit out of you, and you're just like, whoa, hold up. You know what I mean? It's got like this attitude to it. It's got like this punky rawness to it, which is, it's so good. And it's like so refreshing to see within this like metal genre. They've got elements of like the 2000s kind of metalcore with like bits of kind of like J-pop, electronic-y kind of stuff going on in there. It's just so cool. It's so good. It's put together so insanely well. I love the fact of that like chaos. You literally don't know what's coming next. That's so refreshing for metal. You know, I've listened to metal for so many years now. When a new song comes out by a band that I love, I kind of know what to expect. And I like the fact I don't know what to expect with Hanabie. And that's just sick. It's so exciting. Paledusk. It's honestly wild. Like, it's crazy. We got breakdowns, sick riffs, the craziest sound design you've probably ever heard ever in your entire life, and just like these catchy, anthemic feeling melodies and choruses. It's kind of like if hyperpop went metal, but it's still got like this punkiness to it and like a little bit of like a happy vibe. It's not like all doom and gloom like a lot of metal is. It's got like this uplifting feeling to it. A lot of their songs do. There's some which are doom and gloomy and like aggressive and chunky, and you're like, ugh. I'm pretty sure one of the guys in the band did a lot of the sound design for the new Bring Me album. Like, you know, in the new Bring Me album, I think in Lost, there's all that like all that kind of shit. I'm pretty sure one of the guys from this band made those for Bring Me. And in all honesty, this Paledusk band, it's such a nice refresh. Again, like I said with Hanabie, it's this kind of refreshing feeling of metal music. Like, I feel like over on this side of the world in the West, we know what to expect from metal music, and it hasn't changed really in like the past 20 years. In all honesty, it's kind of stayed the same. We know what to expect. We know what we're getting. Yeah, there's bands that have come and gone, but like a lot of this Japanese metal music is just really refreshing. Like, they're actually taking it and doing more with it than what we would ever do in kind of this part of the world, and it's so good. Dexcore. Even though I just said I like the refreshingness of a lot of Japanese metal music, this band kind of takes that metalcore vibe that we all already know and love, and it just does exactly what it says on the tin. But it does it in such a good, insanely good way. It's exactly what you expect. Amazing riffs, catchy choruses, it even has a few blach here and there. You know, you're thinking of bands like Architects, Wage War, Make Them Suffer. But like I said, they do it insanely well, and it doesn't really feel like a copycat band. You know, sometimes you get those bands that clearly are stealing from the big bands like Bring Me or Architects, stuff like that. But this genuinely feels like this is their own authentic ideas, that they're just heavily inspired by bands like Architects and Bring Me and whatever. And that's why it's so good. It's just, you can tell that it's just authentic to them. And yeah, it's fucking great. NemoPhila. I think that's how you say it. NemoPhila? NemoPhila. I don't know. Something along the lines of that. I think they're a fairly new band. They've only been around for like a couple of years, but they just released an album and it's insanely good. I don't know how I came across it. It was probably on a playlist or something. And I was like, yo, what the fuck is this? I need more of this injected into my veins. Actually, take a step back. That's not enough. Shove it up my ass.
What did he say?
It gives this like anime opening vibe, like fast, punchy, punky, raw, just in your face and like aggressive. But also when it gets to the chorus, it's sing-alongy, and you're just like, what the? I need to watch this anime. They seem like insane musicians. Some of the fills and like sections are like insanely fast with like double kicks and stuff, and it's like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool. And they got like some crazy like guitar riffs here and there in a few of their songs. They seem like insane musicians, and it's great. Broken by the Scream. Now, the only reason I included this band because I wanted people to see how fucking insanely ridiculous it is. Like, it's mind-blowingly insane. The songs go from like this brutal, guttural, aggressive, death metal, deathcore, fast as fuck, double kicked section into like these beautifully anthemic sung choruses, and then the next section will just be like this weird electronic section where it's just all like boops and beeps, and then I'll go into a bridge where it's like this Dragon Force style dual guitar harmony solo, which goes on for like longer than it should ever need to, but it does, and it's sick, and it's so fast and shreddy. Like Herman Lee would just be like, I can't do that because that sounds insane. I just love the fact that you just don't know what's coming next. You just say, well, I don't even know if this is the same song anymore. You check, it is the same song, but you've listened to 6 songs in one song. And I quite like that. You just don't know what you're going to get. So the final band is Hikage. Just imagine if Beartooth was Japanese. That's exactly what this is. And I fucking love it. I'm a huge fan of Beartooth. So this is exactly just what I want. This is just what I want. It's basically more Beartooth, but it has its own kind of vibe to it, which I really like. It's a bit more aggressive. It's got a bit more stank to it. Do you know what I mean? It's got a bit more like, he's got a bit more of that. You know what's going on? His vocals are insanely good. It has that like pop punkiness to it, the Beartooth have. Kind of similar to like A Day to Remember-ish, not as pop punky. It's cool. It's good, man. It's fucking good. The breakdowns, some of the breakdowns, obviously you've got like those builds, you know, like Beartooth do. They kind of like build into a breakdown, and then, you know, he'll shout something like, turn this riff up. It's got all that fucking shit in it. It's so satisfying. I feel like all those kind of breakdowns would just send fans into a fucking frenzy at a live show, and that's what I'm here for. I just want that. It makes me just want to, again, take my shoes off and just throw them. I don't know why. It just made me do that. I just took my fucking have that. I didn't even scratch the surface of Japanese metal. That was just a few. That was just a few that I like. So I'll be sure to make another one of these videos if you want me to. Let me know if you've added any of these to your playlist, because, you know, these bands need the recognition. You need to listen to these bands. Forget all those fucking bands you usually listen to. You've probably listened to the same 4 bands since you were 14, 15 years old. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? No, of course I'm not wrong. So add these to your playlist, get it going. You'll be like, yo, this is fucking sick. I'm booking a trip to Japan so I can go watch all these bands. That's what I'm going to do. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, whatever the fuck. I don't care. Bye. See you later.